Good morning all, hope you're doing okay. You had a nice weekend. We're back on Monday and we are the 4th of July. So US holiday, and so we might be quiet affair today. It will depend on the news, but I think it's going to probably be quite quiet. The risk calculation was risk off at the big picture and at the 24-hour change, and the US 30 is indicated a sell. So you have to bear in mind we're still a little bit risk off on the sentiment. And so let's look at the COT data. So the euro ticked up and the USD ticked down, but there is no sign of a cross, an imminent cross at all. It's going to take a while before those two cross. But yeah, slightly mixed. Dollar's still strong, but it's just lost a little bit of momentum, but it's still strong. And the euro is still weak, and it's just lost a little bit of that momentum on the downside. It's ticked up, you see, and it's got these supports. Let's look at the yen, because the yen will be very important to check. So yen is being bid and it's looking quite strong, and we had those supports. If you remember me saying a couple of weeks ago we had that support, so it could technically be quite a good one to do. We're still negative, and it's 52,000 contracts, so yeah, we've actually surged quite a lot. It's a big difference between last week and this week. So if they continue, the yen's going to strengthen. So remember, this is the banks and institutions positioning. We're going to possibly get a euro yen cross here potentially. So let's take the euro off and we'll look at the pound. Then we'll look at the CAD, look at the Aussie. So the pound was bought a lot. No clear indication what to do here with pound yen at all. They're both in ascension. So there's no clear indication, no signal that we can get off that. If one deviated from the other, yeah, we could possibly have a signal, but they're both being bought at the same level, which is a bit strange. And so that's that. So the pound yen isn't a clear sign what to do there, and we're miles away from crossing on the pound USD. Okay, and look at Aussie, and we've got RBA tomorrow morning, so be careful. Aussie yen potential sell scenario here. Okay, obviously don't leap in just because of this. There needs to be a disclaimer that this data is from last Tuesday, and so we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and those 3 days there could have been some change in the positioning. So this is reflected from Tuesday. We'll have to see what happens on Friday, but we might get a cross on AJ, and if we do, then we're going to be quite risk off. Or there's going to be a breakdown of cross yen and US 500 correlation. So AJ is going to be a setup, all right, potentially for a short. Take A off, we'll put on CAD. And nothing really to say there. There's no cross, strong, ticked up, which confirms like the bullish picture because we're positive, and they added while we're positive, so it's quite strong for the CAD. And look at Kiwi, because Kiwi yen was going to be a short setup that I'm eyeing, but nothing really to comment there. It's just negative, and there's not really going to be a crossover there. So maybe AJ would be better than NJ. So be careful. Let's look at gold quickly. And wow, okay. So last week 154,000, 157. So it's not as bad as the week prior, but it's looking quite heavy. We are still positive though. You know, we're really high up there. The contract's long. It's still very positive. However, we are declining on that positive number. And if we continue, we might even get to zero, but we'll have to wait and see. And that's that. So hopefully it helps. Maybe AJ is going to be the good one to look at, and EJ potentially as well. And take gold off. We'll look at Swiss franc, because they did hike, didn't they? And but yeah, they've not really done much. We went from where did we go from? Yeah, it's not really much, is it? 7,000. I don't think it's going to show me. It's kind of annoying, but it's probably about 8,000 there. So it's only a small reduction on the Swiss franc, which is surprising because they hiked, so I thought maybe this would tick up. Remember, the dollar is strong. It's lost a little bit of momentum, but you can see whenever it loses momentum, it just gets bought again. Loses momentum, gets bought. Lost momentum, gets bought a lot. And that's where we had the dollar Swiss signal there. So hopefully it helps, and yeah, I'll be back probably tomorrow, or maybe tonight. In fact, I want to make a video on sentiment. I might do that today if I can find time. And so yeah, I'll wrap up now, and just trade carefully, and know that the MyFX book guys are getting paid a lot on their positioning today. Friday they got pretty devastated, as we saw on our pips total. We did really well on Friday, so they got punished on Friday, and so it looks like Monday could be payday. So do be careful, and we've got US holiday, so it might just be a quiet affair. Have a good day, and I'll speak to you soon.